Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, man. Palma, 7 points in the game.
To Del Puentes.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloya is open. 3-pointer.
Oh my goodness! Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Caballero has time.
Now it gets Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness!
There are regular season matchups and then there are matchups that go beyond team names for Pangasinan and Basilan. This duel takes extra significance tonight. Pangasinan, of course, with their head coach, Gerson Cabiltes. He handled Basilan once upon a time in his career dito sa MPBL, and he will be leading the Heatwaves as they go for a win at home against the Basilan Star Horse. Almost packed ang ating venue ngayon, the Robert Estrella Memorial Stadium here in Rosales, Pangasinan for this matchup. The Crunchman, Alex Cabagnot, is expected to lead the Star Horse against a strong Heatwave squad. Mike De Gregorio has struggled this season, but you expect him to deliver and bounce back just because he has been through a lot of those big games dito sa kanyang career. And this is a matchup that has been on our crosshairs for quite some time. Basilan against Pangasinan dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. This is the MPBL Season 7. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. Sa Dove Tupas kasama si Javi Palania. Gian Rianes is at courtside, and Javi, what a matchup. Coach Gerson Cabiltes, the champion coach in the MPBL, taking on his former team, Basilan.
You're right. A lot of history between these two squads. Ang daming connections sa parehong kupunan na to. And I'm sure Coach Gerson Cabiltes, when he saw the schedule at the start of the season, isa ito sa mga minarkahan niya sa kanyang kalendaryo, and he was really looking forward to this. He had a lot of time to prepare for this, especially coming off a loss. I'm sure nagdoble trabaho siya in preparing for this game.
Welcome din sa ating mga viewers on our official Facebook page and on YouTube. And we are live on Solar Sports. And Javi, Basilan has been up and down this season. But two players that have stepped up for them of late, Alex Cabagnot, James Tempra, actually three players, Alex, James, and Andy Santos. Whenever these three players play well, magandang chance na nila lagi na manalo para sa kanilang kupunan.
Well, Alex Cabagnot, he's slowly been getting into the old form that we're used to seeing him play. Pero ito si Andy Santos, he's been consistent from the start of the season until now. He has been really that force inside that has helped Basilan score those points and also get easy baskets because he's a big man that you can rely on in the half court and in the open floor. Si James Tempra naman, he has brought a lot of hustle. He's brought a lot of versatility in helping pull down those rebounds. Alex Cabagnot, we know him as the crunch man, especially in big game situations. You can definitely count on him. And this is an important stretch for Basilan as they try to make a push for a higher seed in the playoffs.
Pangasinan, Joray Napoles and Mike De Gregorio ang dalawang players na mafe-feature natin. Mike De Gregorio has been up and down this season. He lost to San Juan in their last game. But Mike seems to have found a way to figure out something in that game. Nakita natin, tried to attack the basket regularly. And Joray Napoles, you get a lot of hustle from him and a lot of rebounds as well. Pero itong dalawang players na to, they have to produce in a consistent basis if Pangasinan wants to enter the playoffs trouble-free.
I think the key word that you said there, consistent. They haven't been consistent para sa Pangasinan, and that's a big reason why it hasn't been the season that they have been expecting to play this year. But for Mike De Gregorio, I'm sure he was very frustrated that he did not see action in the fourth quarter versus San Juan. Of course, Coach Gerson Cabiltes might have had some different scheme in mind, having played Bonga Lanza more in that final frame, even though Mike De Gregorio was one of their brightest spots offensively in that game with San Juan, really neutralized itong Pangasinan Heatwaves. But maybe in this game, Mike De Gregorio might have a bigger role and can reprise what he had against San Juan.
Well, talking about bigger roles, these two players are no stranger to big games. Arwin Santos and Vic Manuel. Arwin, of course, the two-time MVP in the PBA. He's now with Basilan. And Arwin, kakabalik lang nito ni Arwin but instant impact agad siya. Ang maganda yung pinapakita niya. Vic Manuel had 14 points in the last game, all in the first period but faded in the second half. Titingnan natin kung makakatuloy-tuloy itong si Muscleman.
Yeah, itong si Arwin Santos, he's been playing well as of late sa kanyang comeback dito sa Basilan Star Horse. And you know, I think these two may have an axe to grind in this game because you remember these two were traded for each other in 2021 when SMB traded ito si Arwin Santos for Vic Manuel who was with Northport at that time.
Also, magkaibigan din naman yan. Pero may laban ngayong
Siyempre,
gabi.
on the court, it's different.
Oo, kasama nila si Gianna Llanes.
Yes, let's talk to our player matchup, Arwin Santos of Basilan and Vic Manuel of Pangasinan. Arwin, kung kayo ay maraming former PBA players sa inyong team, ang Pangasinan naman ay maraming veteran MPBL players who have been here since season 1. Kaya paano nyo sila pinaghandaan ngayon?
Talagang kailangan paghandaan. Kitang-kita naman kung gaano sila kalakas, no? Standing pa lang. Pangalawa yata sila. So kami, ibibigay lang namin yung best namin, defense and offense, and tingnan lang natin kung anong mangyayari sa game.
Actually, a lot of former PBA players, pag dumarating sila dito sa MPBL, sabi nila sa physicality talaga sila nag-a-adjust. Sabi rin ni Coach Rich na para sa kanya ang Pangasinan is one of the toughest teams here in the MPBL. Bilang leader naman ng inyong team, ano yung naging mensahe mo sa teammates mo para kayo rin ay mentally tough ngayon?
Sinabi ko lang na huwag namin sayangin yung biyahe namin at ihanda namin ang aming mga katawan sa game na to.
Thank you very much. That was Arwin Santos of Basilan. Ngayon, kausapin naman natin si Vic Manuel of Pangasinan. O, kitang-kita nga natin na magkaibigan sila, Vic. Magkalaban kayo dati ni Arwin sa PBA. Ngayon, magkalaban kayo ulit dito sa MPBL. Ano yung nasa isip mo?
Siyempre, yung nasa isip ko lang, gusto ko manalo. Yun lang naman eh. Kaya naman kami nandito para manalo. Diba?
And of course, Vic, we have to talk about your team's home court advantage dahil nandito nga tayo sa Pangasinan. I'm sure malaking bagay yun para sa inyo. Ano ang mensahe mo sa lahat ng mga tao dito na dumating talaga para suportahan kayo?
Siyempre, unang-una, gusto ko silang pasalamatan lahat na pumunta sila dito kahit umuulan. Yun, basta ibibigay lang namin best namin para makuha ng panalo na to. Yan, para sa mga taga Pangasinan, sa lahat ng supporters ng MPBL. Yeah.
Thank you very much once again. That was our player matchup, Vic Manuel of Pangasinan and Arwin Santos of Basilan. Let's turn it over now to our Coliseum barker, Miguel Pere, for the start of the game.
You'll be catching another exciting ball game here inside the Robert P. Estrella Senior Memorial Stadium. Welcome to our main game between Basilan and your Pangasinan. Live on Solar Sports, this is the 2025 Manny Pacquiao MPBL Season 7. Now, join me in welcoming the starting units, beginning with Basilan Star Horse. Starting at forward, number 11, Gab Dagangon. Center, number 1, James Tepra. Guard, number 3, Raymar Kaduyak. Also at guard, number 19, Eman Calo. And the other forward, number 29, the Spider-Man, Arwin Santos. The head coach for Basilan Star Horse is Rich Alvarez. Assistant coaches, Melo Navarro, Rob Labagala, Arnel Siap, Shelito Caro, and Dan Rose. Coaching consultant is Mac Tan. Assistant team manager, Timothy Pua. Team manager is Bernard Young. And now, mga kaliga, get on your feet because it's time to meet the starting unit for your Pangasinan Heat Waves. Starting at forward, number 9, Harvey Pagsanhan. Also at forward, number 12, JP Maguliano. One guard, number 11, Joshua Fontanilla. Two guard, number 1, Mike Di Gregorio. Playing center, number 28, the Komodo Dragon, Michael Mabulak. The head coach for the Pangasinan Heat Waves is Gerson Cabiltes. Assistant coaches, Noy Catalan, Jun Marzan, Florian Pineda, Ariel Sison, Harold Nang, Joseph Gion Dan Xavier, and June Medina. Reference for this ball game.
35 is brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Basilan has Eman Calo, Raymar Caduyac, James Tempra, Gab Dagangon, and Arvin Santos. Pangasinan has Josh Fontanilla, Mike De Gregorio, Mike Mabulak, JP Maguliano, and Harvey Pagsanhan. Second game para kay JP Maguliano and his return for Pangasinan. And Josh Fontanilla activated for this matchup.
And another different starting unit para kay Coach Gerson Cabilte sa laro na to. But Coach Rich Alvarez opting to stay with the same starting unit he had against the Bataan Risers. Arwin Santos starting his second straight game right now for the Basilan Star Horse. Coach Gerson has been known to really shuffle his starting fives throughout the years. And this is more of a defensive unit, if you ask me, para dito sa Pangasinan, with only Fontanilla and Mike DG, the legit scorers in the backcourt. Of course, you have Mabulak to rely on for scoring inside the paint.
Eman Calo, sidestep three, it's short, rebound, Mike De Gregorio.
So De Gregorio had 11 points in that game against San Juan, but still no three-point shots para sa kanya. Actually, he did not attempt from the outside in that game against the Knights. He's only been able to hit, I think, a couple of three-point shots this season. Ito si Mike De Gregorio.
Usually more of a mid-range player to see Mike De Gregorio. Our officials for tonight: Mike Kinay, Ron Balut, Edwin Bubos. And our substitute referee is Jackson Mabandos. Harvey Pagsanhan, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Fontanilla, back to Harvey. Good challenge by Dagangon. Short on the three, offensive rebound. Mike Mabulak up against Arwin Santos. Mike inside the Komodo Dragon. Left-handed scoop won't go. A foul on Gab Dagangon.
And now Coach Gerson, I think he wants to try and get Mike Mabulak going here early. You remember he struggled against San Juan in that game against the Knights. Obviously, Vic Manuel was the hot hand in the first quarter with 14 points para sa Heatwaves.
Maguliano, left-handed scoop won't work. Rebound, Arwin Santos.
It hasn't been a very triumphant return yet to the MPBL para dito kay JP Maguliano. Still trying to find his way here with the Pangasinan Heatwaves.
Well, ball pressure from Fontanilla, forcing the turnover. Coach Rich Alvarez of the Basilan Star Horse. Here's Mike De Gregorio. Atake si Mike DG off the glass and in. Opens the game with the basket. 8.5 minutes remaining.
Well, it seems yun na nga talaga yung na-realize niya. I think he's already made up his mind that that really is going to be the way that he's going to contribute in producing offense, as we see Fontanilla creating the turnover and finishing the basket. Coach Rich Alvarez not very happy with the way that Basilan has started this game.
Well, you're asking a lot of questions dito ang Pangasinan on the capacity and the capability of this Basilan team to get things across despite the pressure. Fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme Exwa, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
And these are two teams that, you know, are really well built. A lot of big names, a lot of veteran players. Mike De Gregorio finally finding it at the bottom from the outside.
And it had to be Mr. Javi Palanya. Caduyac, atake, Raymar Caduyac puts Basilan on the board. And that will mean a lot to the confidence of Mike De Gregorio. Able to knock down that three. Fontanilla fires. That won't go. Rebound ni Gab Dagangon.
You would expect, you know, a guy from the PBA would actually be able to incorporate himself and find his game right away here as he moves to the MPBL. But Mike De Gregorio, it wasn't really the case para sa kanya. He had to struggle with the physicality He had the struggle with the way things were being run. Maybe he also had difficulty trying to fit into the difficult system as we know it that Coach Gerson Cabiltes likes to run. And that's an open secret. Everybody knows about it.
Eman Calo. Tinatawag na knockout play. Off the back of Di Gregorio. Gotta see that again.
Definitely have to see that again.
7-4. Di Gregorio feeling it.
It just takes one, Mr. Tupas.
Yes, it takes one. 8 of the 10 points. And Mike Di Gregorio, I feel, needs a breakout game, and this could happen tonight.
And what a time to come if it indeed comes here at home against Basilan.
Arwin. It's a wild shot. Dagangon inside. The turnaround shot. No good. Mabulak secures the rebound here. He is running the break. Fontanilla. De Gregorio. He'll try again. Short this time. Heat check from Mike DG. Dagangon drives baseline. Nice finish galing kay Gab Dagangon.
I had to make an adjustment there. Tough angle to work with there para kay Gab Dagangon. But, you know, some time ago, he was one of the best scorers here in the league.
Scorer of the first ever basket in the MPBL. Harvey will drive. Pagsanhan draws the foul. 2 free throws for Harvey Pagsanhan.
I'm seeing Mike De Gregorio right now approach Coach Gerson Cabiltes, and Coach Gerson just can't help but smile.
Look at this. Ang galing ni Eman Calo doon. Nakatalikod si Mike De Gregorio. Bounce it off.
In my opinion, Eman Calo is one of the smartest MPBL players.
He is. And
The IQ is uncanny.
and also the funniest.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt. Kung hindi yan nagbabasketball ngayon, nagkomedyante yan ngayon.
Yes, here's the official outfitter of the MPBL. And meanwhile, our Gianna Llanes has an update.
Si Delphin Javi, malapit nga sa puso ni Coach Gerson ang Basilan dahil ito ang una niyang kupunan dito sa MPBL, even winning an invitational championship with the title. Napaka-grateful daw niya sa Basilan for the memories he's had carrying that team name. And the best way to show his gratitude daw is giving them a good fight today. In honor naman of representing the Pangasinense this season, hindi rin daw niya mapapahiya ang kakayahan ng kanyang kupunan dito sa kanilang home court. He's noticed when they're going against strong teams, they always fall short if they fall behind in the beginning. Kaya napakahalaga para sa kanila ang strong start ngayon. So he reminded his players of one thing before the game, telling them, fulfill your role first and foremost because that is why you're here. Not everyone is a scorer and that is okay. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Gianna. Nice reminders galing kay Coach Gerson Cabiltes. And again, we know this game has a lot of history. It carries a lot of significance to, you know, for the characters involved, including Coach Gerson. On the other side, at one point, they worked together, him and the team owner of, team owner of Basilan, Boss Jax Chua. So malalim ang samahan yan.
Yeah, who is here in the venue.
Oo. It is a special day.
For sure.
Team manager Bernard Yang is also here.
Lagi naman yan present si Boss B. Also, Jay Collado and Hesed Gabo, former Basilan players who will be playing against their former squads tonight.
Oo nga. And then, you know, that invitational championship that they won.
Oh yeah.
Sobrang memorable no, that Philip Manalang jumper in MOA Arena to win the prize. Kano nga yan?
2 million.
2 million, okay.
2 million peso shot. That was a 2 million peso shot.
Play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Which, if I remember right, dinagdagan pa yata ni Boss Jax ng 1 million eh. Doon sa bonus nila. If I remember right if my memory serves me right, alam ko may dagdag eh.
Alam mo, Avi, sa mga teritoryo ng mga milyon, hindi na ako makarelate eh.
Sorry, ako rin naman.
Ano na tayo eh? Medyo
Wala, that is out of my sphere.
literally beyond our pay
Oh.
grade.
Di bale, in another lifetime maybe. At you know, that MPBL Invitational was also very memorable for me. That was my first stint.
Well, Cabagnot picks the pocket of De Gregorio and finds Eman Calo, who is fouled by Hesed Gabo.
Could have easily just went for the shot there. He only had one guy in front of him, but De Gregorio gave him a good challenge. At Cabagnot, you know, the smart player that he is, in having eyes at the back of his head, able to find Eman Calo, who was trailing the play.
Eman knocks down the first free throw. 9.4 points, almost 4 rebounds, almost 4 assists this season for Basilan. Champion in season 3 with the Davao Occidental Tigers. 12-7. Esed Gabo against Eman Calo. They go to Mabulak. Ball poked away. And a foul on Mike Mabulak. Only the third team foul for Pangasinan. Oh, may ano tayo. May info.
Ayun, tama si Jumbo pala. Okay,
Jumbo
thank you.
Plastic. Thank you kay...
Thank you.
Grabe din talaga to si tropa natin si Benson de la Paz. Laging nakikinig at laging nanonood. Kanina, ang aga umuwi eh. First game sila eh.
Oo nga,
Panalo agad. Next week makikita na naman natin to sa Palayan City.
for sure.
Sherwin Concepcion with a 3.
Sherwin
10.
Concepcion has been a vital piece in this latest stretch of games para sa Basilan, helping them win 4 of their last 5.
Lervin Flores traveled. This is something that has bothered Pangasinan a bit. They, you know, they're still, you know, yung chemistry hindi pa rin ganun kabuo eh. 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, one-stop shop appliances. And that's proof of that. Nagbanggaan si Napoles tsaka si Lervin Flores as Flores went on the move there dun sa loob ng pintura.
And many people think that, you know, just because these guys are veterans, that it would be easier for them to develop that chemistry. But, you know, sometimes it's really a case-to-case basis. Sometimes it takes longer for different personalities to fit in with each other. And that's been the case for Pangasinan. And that's, I think, been the biggest struggle para sa kanila. Especially because of the very complex system that Coach Gerson runs.
Good tap by Cabagnot. Pastoran is off. He was stopped there. Dagangon fires a 3. Heat check para kay Gab. And you see Enzo Hoson has been called up from the bench. Gabo. Down low to Napoles. Up against Dagangon. Ball knocked away. Pastoran. Gets it to Jervy Cruz. Back to Jimboy. Now with Alex Cabagnot. Cabagnot, jumper. He will get the bounce. Alex Cabagnot.
That is a very tough shot, going to his right, pulling up just a little bit above the free throw line there. He rejected the screen on the left side that was being set.
Hesed rises for this jumper. Too strong. Dagangon with the rebound. Sherwin. Lamang na ang Basilan dito. Concepcion open. Shot fake. Atake. Fouled by De Gregorio.
Almost the same spots as they were in the previous play, but this time Concepcion goes to the corner instead of earlier he was trying to set a screen for Alex, and then Cabagnot drives, attracts the defense. He goes for the kick out to Sherwin, who attacks the closeout and draws the foul. Basilan is now on an 8-0 run sa Delph. It's been a drought for the Heat Waves.
Sherwin gets the first to drop. Second free throw is also good. Gabo. Both teams already in penalty. Over 2 minutes to play here in the first period. Bonga Lanza up against Alex Cabagnot. Napoles against Hoson. Ball knocked away by Hoson, but referee Mike Kinay says it's last touch on Napoles.
And Napoles hasn't had a successful time being set up on the block there. They've been going to him 2 straight times, but both times he's turned it over. The ball was easily poked away laban sa kanya. Interestingly, they were setting up Napoles on the block instead of Vic Manuel, who was positioned outside. So let's see how things change here, that Napoles troops back to the bench after those 2 straight turnovers.
King Gortiza ang pinalitan, ang pinalit kay Napoles. Pangasinan has not scored for over 3 minutes. Last point that they made was a free throw from Mike Mabulak.
And this has caused them a lot of their losses this season. They sometimes go on long stretches without a basket. It's sometimes because of turnovers, sometimes because of wrong decision making. It's sometimes miscommunication actually. And that just speaks to still the chemistry that is still developing at this point para sa Pangasinan. Until we see it, I don't think it's gonna be an easy time for them generating wins.
Sa kabila naman, yung Basilan, after a rough start, unti-unti na yung nahanap yung kanilang chemistry.
Tama ka dyan.
Hoson to the crunch man, Cabagnot. No good on the 3. Gabo tracks it down. Hesed to King. Gortiza. No good. Lervin Flores secures the offensive rebound. There's a foul on Enzo Hoson. That will mean free throws for Lervin Flores.
Both teams already over the limit. And you see the difference in the way that Basilan moves the basketball so freely, especially in transition. The ball never really stays with one hand for more than 2 seconds. They're really looking to give it up forward to the guy in front. Well, itong Pangasinan, there's a lot of dribbling involved usually.
No good on the second for Lervin Flores. 17-13. Sherwin. Bigay kay Enzo. Hoson gets it to Jervy. Consi Jervy knocks down the 3.
Vic Manuel should know better. Jervy Cruz has shown us that outside shot has been very dependable para sa Basilan Star Horse this season.
Ese Gabo answers right back.
And I think one guy that, aside from Coach Gerson, truly epitomizes the struggles of Pangasinan this season, it's Hesed Gabo. It hasn't been a good season para sa kanya compared to past seasons, especially when he was still with Nueva Ecija.
This layup galing kay King Gortiza. Good challenge up top for Jervy Cruz. Cabagnot, 40 seconds remaining in the quarter. Alex is fouled. All the tricks of the trade.
Oh yeah.
Alam na alam ni Alex Cabagnot.
Nagulangan doon si King Gortiza. Use that angle. Gortiza medyo nakatagilid ng konti. And Cabagnot kind of leaned in to draw the foul. Even if he was going right, it seemed to be no problem for the lefty, Alex Cabagnot.
Cabagnot gets the first free throw to drop, 21-15. Good sized crowd here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Rosales, Pangasinan.
despite the rainy weather at that.
Oo.
So that Vic Manuel hasn't really touched the basketball yet here.
Oh, naka ano siya kanina. Pero naagawan nga siya no, on the double team.
This is the first real handle of the basketball for the muscle man, but he gives it up there.
Yung isang layup ni Flores. Basilan will milk the clock here. 3-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Kabagnot up against Gortiza. The crunch man to Consi Jervy. Shot fake, atake to the corner. That's a three off the side of the board. Flores has time. He gets it to Gabo. Hesed, the three. Got it! To beat the buzzer in the first period. Hesed Gabo trims the deficit to 4 as Pangasinan able to beat the buzzer right here. Lervin Flores, quick thinking for him. And Hesed Gabo able to knock down this tough three-pointer over Enzo Hoson.
That's a much-needed basket para sa Pangasinan. After a good start para sa kanila, Basilan took over, and then the heat waves just couldn't buy a basket. In fact, Basilan went on a 10-0 run to be able to get the lead on their side. Now they enter the second quarter up by just 4 points after that trifecta by Hesed Gabo.
Pangasinan lost to San Juan in their last game at the Eco Oil Center, 73-66. Pangasinan did get off to a good start in this ball game. 14 points to Vic Manuel in the first quarter, but it was all San Juan after that.
Yeah, they held San Juan scoreless for a long time in the first quarter after that Vic Manuel storm. But that was all Pangasinan could ever have in that game in terms of taking control of the match. The Knights, when the nerves settled down. But as we were talking about it, Vic Manuel answering from the outside.
Kabagnot, the Hesi, the layup, yes. Still effective.
He's really back in game shape now, Sadel. Nakikita mo yung diferensya ng galaw eh. Now the explosiveness is back. The confidence to attack is there. And you see that he's, obviously the reads hindi na mawawala yan. Pero ngayon nagagawa niya na yung mga gusto niyang gawin.
He's turning 43 in
Really?
December. That's right, my friend.
Oh my goodness. That's what 43 looks like nowadays? I can't believe it.
That's what 42 right now looks like.
Okay,
It's 43 in a few months.
All right.
And Vic Manuel knocks down the three right here. Ganda ng atake ni King Gortiza to set up Vic Manuel. But on the other end, that's a little Hesi. And then the quick burst of speed galing kay Alex Cabagnot.
I must say, the wonders of modern medicine.
Talaga, Vic, yung tisang kanyang tres.
They're really positioning Vic Manuel outside the three-point line.
You know why? They want to prevent ito si Adi Santos on those rim runs. Kasi kailangan lumabas si Adi ngayon eh. And then with Vic doon din, at least hindi masyado magkaka-advantage. As Jay Collado lays it in off the feed, galing kay Hesed Gabo.
And I love how Hesed Gabo is running the show right now. This is the Hesed Gabo that we saw a few seasons ago when he was one of the leaders of that Nueva Ecija squad that won the championship in Season 4. When he is playing well, it rubs off on all of his teammates.
That's last touch on Gabo. It will stay with Basilan. This is the assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Just like when a conductor in front of an orchestra is not making the right signs or directing with the right notes, then the offense of Pangasinan just goes out of tune and doesn't play the right music. But when he is in line, itong Pangasinan Heatwaves, they're going to be in a good spot all the time.
Jimboy Pastoran, short on the three. Adi Santos, the offensive rebound, and he banks it in for two.
Just what he does best, ito si Adi Santos.
Melencio, Bongalanza. Ball knocked away. That's the second steal of Alex Cabagnot. He'll fire a three. Short.
That three-point shot, though, just hasn't been kind to Alex tonight.
Ian Melencio lost the handle. He gets it to Manuel. Layup, got it.
Nothing much Jimboy Pastoran could have done there. He tried to challenge the shot, but obviously Vic Manuel just too big right there para kay Jimboy Pastoran.
Hoson has not been that involved sa opensa dito ng Basilan. Enzo. Shot clock down to 5. Hoson drives, no. And the clock will expire on the Star Horse.
Pangasinan has been giving Enzo Hoson different coverages on pick and roll situations. Sometimes it's a hard show, sometimes it's a blitz.
And most of the time though, Basilan's players nanonood lang kaya walang mapasahan.
You're right.
Enzo Hoson, timeout muna tayo. Get a special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. We're back at the Robert Estrella Senior Memorial Stadium in Rosales, Pangasinan. Basilan's next 3 games, they go up against Manila and then Quezon City and then a duel with the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. Let's go to Gianna.
Their strength is our weakness. Yun ang sinabi ni Coach Rich tungkol sa mga kalaban nila ngayon, calling the Heatwaves the toughest team here in the MPBL. Sabi niya ang kanilang ensayo ay puno ng drills to test their physicality and patience for this game, keeping the mindset that he's been trying to implement so far this season. The value of doing everything to win. Itong laro daw ay test nila para doon. He also addressed their new addition in Greg Slaughter, who is not yet making his debut today. He said, facing tough teams in the league, they really needed a good rebounder who was not easy to find, but he is excited because he will be a huge help for them. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Gianna. So wala pa si Greg Slaughter dito. And we might see him in future games for Basilan. That's the 8th turnover for Pangasinan that travel whistled on Bongalanza. Here's Enzo Hoson. Sherwin Concepcion, 1 dribble pull-up. Off the mark. Rebound, Hesed Gabo. Hesed. Collado trying to get in position in the paint. Hindi natanggap yung bola. Now they go to Vic Manuel. Shoves Tempra out of the way. There's a double team. Ayaw umakyat ng tira ni Muscleman.
Forced the issue there.
Concepcion, corner 3. No. Melencio with a rebound. Gets it to Bongalanza. Galanza will drive. One-hander is short. Rebound, Sherwin Concepcion.
I think that's one guy who's still been underperforming for Pangasinan this season. Ito si Bongalanza, usually very dependable as a scorer and as an outside shooter, but hasn't really found a stroke yet for the Heatwaves this year.
Dagangon knocks down the corner 3.
There's a reason why he's still a valuable piece of Coach Rich Alvarez's rotation. It's because of what he can bring on both ends of the floor. Ito si Gab Dagangon.
3 of 11 from beyond the arc ang Basilan. 4 of 10 for Pangasinan. Bagsak si Pastoran. And it's an offensive foul on Vic Manuel.
And we're back to these scoreless stretches for Pangasinan. You see here, ball moving from side to side, ending in a corner pocket, three-pointer para kay Gab Dagangon.
And Eman Calo returns. James Tempra is back as well. I'd like to give a quick birthday shout out kay Coach Rob Labagala.
Yeah, happy birthday, Coach Rob. He's here celebrating his birthday working
Oo.
as one of Coach Rich Alvarez's assistant para sa Basilan. Shout out rin mga pala kay former MPBL player Ivan Villanueva who is watching right now. Na-miss niya na raw yung MPBL.
Miss na rin natin siya.
Oo.
JB
Isa
Orera watching from Canada. Player din yan ng MPBL dati. Manoy, kamusta ka dyan?
Happy viewing sa inyo.
You know, I've been seeing a lot of vlogs, and one former MPBL player that has an interesting vlog as well is John Dan Salvador.
Really?
He's like sharing his life in California.
Nasa California na siya
Oo,
ngayon?
oo.
Okay.
So, caregiver yata siya dun eh.
That's really nice. It's
Oh.
yun yung napapansin ko rin sa mga players who migrate to other countries. Si Garbo Lanyate also does the same.
Ay, oo, sige po. That's, ako yung pinuri ko ngayong vlog na kasi parang sabi ko napaka authentic.
Oh yeah.
No, genuine, I think, is really a wonderful family man.
Yes. Now, this guy is also a wonderful family man. Ito si Arwin Santos.
Oo, busy yan nung June. Daming birthday. Pati birthday niya. His wife Yvette is also here, I think. No, nakita ko kanina. So tuloy-tuloy lang kayo mga players. Mag-vlog lang kayo para manood na kami. Free throw of the game is brought to you by Extreme Appliances sa Subok at kompletong appliances brand ng Pilipinas. Nabangan ko yung vlog mo eh. Hindi ka na masyado nagpa-vlog, Ports eh.
Antay lang tayo ng konti. Medyo may inaayos lang tayo. But I will be back.
Okay. Abangan nyo yan, mga kaibigan. Ako kasi hindi na ako. Parang hindi ko na generation yung ano eh.
Pwede pa naman.
Dagangon drives. Masyado malalim. Tempra. And Collado secures the rebound. Melencio, Cabagnot had to give up the foul. With 4.5 minutes remaining. Only the second team foul.
Well,
for
Basilan also does realize that when Pangasinan gets out on the open court, they can be very dangerous. And they can get on a good rhythm when they're in the fast break on a consistent basis, and they want to avoid that. They want to force Pangasinan to try and execute in the half court.
Melencio. Almost a steal by Cabagnot. Mike De Gregorio now with Melencio. 10 seconds to work with. Ian gets it to Jay Collado. Pulls the trigger and knocks it down.
Very confident looking shot there galing kay Jay Collado. Hand in the face. Walang problema. Galing kay Jay Collado, who is in one of the best shapes of his life this season.
He's locked in. Jay Collado and Arwin Santos. All business with that jumper. Dun sa free throw line.
This guy is definitely locked in too. He's getting back into good playing condition. Itong si Arwin Santos, the Spider-Man. He's determined to really help Basilan climb out of that number 9 spot in the Southern Division.
Mabulak. Nagmadali. Dagangon gets to the loose ball. Eman Calo. Nice fake. Turnaround shot. Eman Calo for 2. And somehow, itong Basilan has found a way every time you feel like Pangasinan is due for a momentum swing. May sagot sila lagi.
Tama ka dyan. That's the reason why Pangasinan hasn't been able to pull away. It's because that each time that Pangasinan is on the verge of making that breakthrough run, Basilan, what they do is they put pressure on the defense, by really trying to attack. They challenge the interior nitong Pangasinan Heat Waves, and they don't settle for low percentage shots or like home run hits. They always try to go for those high percentage looks inside. But ngayon naman, itong si Harvey Pagsanhan of Pangasinan, that's what he did. Went inside for that high percentage shot and drew the foul.
Such an athletic move here from Harvey Pagsanhan. Tempra had tried to stay away, but it was too late. Tumama na. A lot of contact already, and Harvey gets it to drop, and then he is at the line for the bonus. Lawrence Paul Victoria. Kailan kaya siya ma-activate dito ng Pangasinan? A welcome addition to this team.
Oh yeah, they do need a scorer who's able to make shots, especially in times kung kailan na nagkaka-scoreless runs ang Pangasinan. Scoreless runs, which we've been talking about a lot in this game.
In short, they need firepower.
Exactly.
The fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere. And right there, Eman Calo took Harvey Pagsanhan somewhere and then made the turnaround shot. Eman, a three. That's short. Melencio with a rebound. Ian Melencio surveys the floor. Napoles has it. De Gregorio looking for space. Firing the jumper, won't go. Rebound. Concejal Jervy Cruz of Nampicua, Nueva Ecija. Arwin. Jervy now with Alex. Tabagnot shoves Pagsanhan out of the way, and that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, the shove was medyo pataas kasi yung paghawi niya eh. Kung medyo pababa yun, I think that could have been a let go. But see here, there you go. Clearly an extension of the left arm there by Alex Cabagnot. Good defense by Harvey Pagsanhan, keeping in step with him. Alex Cabagnot even giving him a hand right there as he went back down on defense to acknowledge the good defense of the young kid, Harvey Pagsanhan.
This jumper galing kay Mike Mabulak. Star Horse with a 1-point lead. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second period. Eman Calo gets a running start. Arwin back out to Jervy. Cruz, a three. Got it. Jervy Cruz has 8 points. Always available for those pick and pop situations, Savi.
Oh yeah, Jervy Cruz might not be averaging a good percentage from the three-point line this year, but you know, when he's on, he's on.
At saka yung timing ng kanyang tira.
Exactly. The moments wherein he's able to hit those shots, it sometimes comes in fourth quarter situations where they couldn't buy a bucket and they need something to really push themselves forward. It's shots like this, galing kay Jervy Cruz.
3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
That's his second three in the game.
And restores a 4-point lead para dito sa Basilan Star Horse. 36-32. 68 seconds to play in the first half.
Also like to give a shout out pala to Coach Willie Chan, who's also watching right now.
Coach Willie!
Coach Willie,
Kamusta ka?
good evening and happy viewing.
Daming project ni Coach
Ay.
Willie.
Siyempre naman.
Yan ni Direk Francis. Commissioner Kenneth Duremdes is also watching. Magandang gabi sa'yo. Watching from his hometown, Marbel.
Good evening, Com. Captain Marbel watching from Marbel.
Short on that second free throw. Harvey Pagsanhan. Kaduyak in trouble. Trying to get away from the pressure. This is already an 8-second violation.
Oh, Raymar Kaduyak getting an earful right now from Coach Rich Alvarez. And you don't see that often. This just characterizes the intensity and the magnitude that this match has really displayed.
You know, you don't need to go far May pinakita ako sa'yo kanina, Javi.
But please do share with our viewers, Mr. Tupas.
May pinakita ko sa'yo kanina kung gaano ka importante itong game na to for Basilan. Even the caption on their social media page
There you go.
of the Basilan Star Horse posted yesterday, okay? Posted yesterday. So there's a proper build-up to this. Sabi nila, we've been playful, but not for this one. For this game. Okay? They were referring to this game. So ganun po kabigat ang game para sa Basilan Star Horse. And they're not even the home team.
Exactly. But I'm sure, you know, them playing on the road in this one gives them even more motivation, because I feel like the satisfaction that they would get from winning this game would be even greater.
But you know what? Their players are friends.
Oh yeah.
Kitang-kita mo, there's not a lot of chippiness in this game.
But
And,
when you can see both coaching staffs, you could feel the pressure that they're experiencing right now.
36-33, 47 seconds remaining. We'll be right back. As a fan of the game, brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Wow. Architect Simon Mangyo, happy birthday sa'yo, Architect. He's watching from Japan.
Happy birthday po. Wow, dami nanonood sa atin even from the other countries, ha?
Oo naman. Architect, hopefully you're enjoying the game and wishing you a really great birthday celebration. Pepe Barbershop in Tondo also watching. Jet Vidal
Uy, si Jet Vidal.
nanonood from Macau.
He's really missed the MPBL. I've seen it a lot in his social media posts, how he misses playing basketball.
36-33, three-point game. Basilan ahead, 10 seconds to work with for Cabagnot. Maguliana is right in front of him. There's a foul away from the ball.
That's gonna go against Pagsanhan.
And they are not yet in the penalty.
There was a switch that happened, which drew Pagsanhan on Jervy Cruz. That's why Maguliano was the one playing defense against Alex Cabagnot with the shot clock winding down.
Jabs Bautista is in the game for Harvey Pagsanhan. He is considered a homegrown here. "13-second differential, game clock and shot clock." Actually, no. Kasi bumaba sa 14 ang shot clock. And the whistle though, galing kay our referees. Referee Bubos.
Alex Cabagnot seems to be a step, maybe even 2 steps faster in this game. Or is it really just a long time since I've last seen him play?
Well, medyo nakondisyon naman talaga si Crunchman dito. We have a coach's challenge from Coach Gerson. We'll be right back.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful. Call on the floor stands. Now on number 17, Jackson Vista.
So, unsuccessful challenge for Coach Gerson Cabiltes. Alex Cabagnot driving right at Jabs Bautista. Yun, may hawak sa kamay.
Definitely. hand was on the arm. Cabagnot just caught Japs Bautista, who was still cold off the bench. Off timing right there. Di nakasunod agad. Ito si Japs Bautista. Cabagnot has been blowing by defenders with ease in this game.
And Alex misses the first. 0 for 2. 36-33. A 4-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Heat Waves can milk it up until the final seconds here. Fontanilla gets it to Maguliano, who gets a running start and lays it in for 2.
Pretty setup right there galing kay Josh Fontanilla. Last shot time now for Basilan.
Cabagnot finds Arwin Santos. And what a connection between the two veterans.
And how many times have we seen that over the course of their careers? The Crutchman locating the Spider-Man.
Impressive. The way he was able to navigate that double team dun sa backcourt and beating everyone for the 2 points. Basilan with the final say of the half. They're up by 3 at the break.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya's. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way off and goes down again. Straight left lands the man. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Welcome back to Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. We are still here in Rosales, Pangasinan for the halftime of our main game for the day. It is between the Basilan Star Horse and the Pangasinan Heat Waves. The score is 38-35 in favor of Basilan. Ako po si Gianna Llanes at kasama ko ngayon ang assistant coach ng Basilan na si Coach Chelito Carlo. Coach Caro, nakita namin sa social media ng Basilan about this game. Sabi nyo, we've been playful but not for this one. Ano yung ibig nyo sabihin doon?
Yeah, of course, this game is a personal game for us. No, wala lang. Gusto lang namin talunin yung Pangasinan. Gusto lang namin talunin yung isa sa mga malakas na team.
At Coach, nakita nga natin na sa first half na pupunta sa inyo ang momentum. It's been a very physical game. Ano ang kailangan nyo pang gawin to keep a hold of this momentum sa second half?
Yes, yung first half namin, kailangan pa namin dagdagan yung effort namin sa defense and kailangan na namin ma-execute yung offense kasi kaya para ma-contain namin yung lamang namin sa first half. So, yun lang. We need to contain and we need to kuhan lang sa defense namin.
Coach Caro, kahit nga nasa home court kayo ng Pangasinan, I'm sure maraming nanonood na sumusuporta sa inyong koponan. Sino ang gusto mong pasalamatan?
Yes, first of all, I would like to thank the people of Basilan, to Mayor Joel Sataman, and of course to Boss Jackson Chua. Nanood talaga dito, no? Si Boss Jax kahit malayo, nanood talaga to witness this memorable game namin against sa Pangasinan.
Thank you very much once again. That was the assistant coach of the Basilan Star Horse, assistant coach Chelito Caro. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
I came from nothing. Just a small boy from streets of General Santos City. No shoes, no food, No chance, just a dream in my heart. From flyweight to junior middleweight, 8 divisions. Thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bawat Pilipinong nangangarap at lumalaban. This is our victory. This is our story. And the best is yet to come.
Alright mga kaliga, ito naman ang Suzuki Halftime Half-Portino Challenge. Ready na ang ating mga participants. Simple na mechanics. Each one may isang attempt mula sa half-court line. At kapag na-shoot nila, mag-uwi sila ng brand new Suzuki Bergman. Okay, first contestant natin si Kevin Cespedes. Alright Kevin, good luck. Channel Challenge brought to us by Suzuki, the official motorcycle partner of the MPBL. With Suzuki, oras na para magmotor.
Back inside Robert Estrella Senior Memorial Stadium in Rosales, Pangasinan, the Basilan Star Horse leading the Pangasinan Heatwaves 38-35 at the end of 2 quarters. And it's been an action-packed game, a lot of physicality, but syempre, a lot of good sportsmanship na nakikita natin. But itong Basilan doing better with their shooting and their assists and their lesser turnovers as well. Pero itong execution talaga ng Basilan ang nakita nating nanaig dito sa first half natin, Javi.
You're right, and that's why Pangasinan has really tried their best to go out in transition dahil pinipigilan sila talaga maka-execute sa half court while on their side of the floor. Look at the ball movement there by the Star Horse, moving that ball from left to right and getting it to the corner shot. And this guy has been the one that's running the show para sa Basilan Star Horse. Alex Cabagnot has been the guy that has helped Basilan really gain the upper hand in this game. He has made sure that these guys who are the leading scorers right now for the Star Horse have gotten their baskets in this game.
Jervy Cruz has 8 points, couple of 3-pointers from Consi Jervy. 7 points para kay Alex to go with 4 assists and 4 rebounds. You have the gang on Eman Calo. You know what I like about the way Basilan is executing? They keep it simple.
You're right.
When there's a shot available, they take it. Hindi na masyadong iniikot ang bola kung meron ng opportunity. No, they don't really mind the shot clock kahit may first chance sila na itira nila. And that's the democratic way na pinapakita dito ni Coach Rich Alvarez with his players.
Tama ka dyan dahil, you know, you're gonna get an earful from Coach Rich if you don't shoot it, if you're open. He really gives his players a lot of liberty and he gives them a lot of confidence. You see that he really encourages his players. He tries his best to really make sure that he gets the best out of everybody on his team when they're on the floor.
Now even that shot from Eman Calo. Pastoran got a touch to that.
Ang importante kay Coach Rich, when you miss a basket, you gotta make sure that you go back down on defense, especially against this Pangasinan team. Because if you don't get back on defense, Pangasinan will really get their points in the fast break.
Yes said, looking for Mike Mabulak na agaw ni Eman Calo. Calo on the move. Eman too strong. Adi Santos is there to clean it up.
When the ball goes up, when you're the opposing team, you have to be able to put a body on Adi Santos. Hanapin mo na siya agad because he has a really good nose for the basketball as we've seen him over the years. Ang hirap niya talaga pigilan doon sa mga ganong klaseng sitwasyon.
Nahabol ni Alex Cabagnot. He goes to the corner. That's a 3 from the crunch man.
Finally, 0 out of 3 before that shot, and his misses kanina medyo di talaga maganda, but that time open look capitalized on by Alex Cabagnot.
This is the biggest lead of Basilan. Biggest lead by any team in this ball game. Pangasinan opened the game with a 7-0 run. The Basilan countered with a 20-6 run. And that's how we're where we are right now. No? The Vic Manuel is at the line. The muscle man knocks down the first free throw.
And now might be the time to get Vic Manuel going in this game. I feel like Coach Gerson has learned from that game against San Juan that he might have to pace Vic Manuel so that he doesn't lose gas by the end.
Roger is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Maraming salamat. The LGR as the muscle man puts it in for 2. He had got 3 points out of that possession. Pastoran on the move. Layup is good.
Blew by Esid Gabo there and just went straight to the cup. No rim protection para sa Pangasinan. Oh, that's a very tough shot, especially when it's Arwin Santos challenging you. Harvey Pagsanhan making a big basket there para sa Heatwaves.
6 na puntos na para kay Harvey Pagsanhan. Here's Eman Calo. Arwin, Adi, Pastoran, Cabagnot, open 3. That won't work. Rebound ni Mabula. Gabo pushing. That's a dribbling violation. Check out this assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Look away pass. Galing kay Esed Gabo after a made basket on the other end.
And he got 3 white shirts looking at him there that allowed the open look.
Narwin, another opportunity. He puts it back in. And they've been generating a lot of good looks. Kaya pati ang offensive rebound, maganda yung pwesto nila, Javi.
Tama ka dyan. But it has to fall on Pangasinan's shoulders that they have to finish those defensive possessions because the ball will not just fall magically into their hands, especially with very capable, more than capable rebounders in Adi Santos and Arwin Santos on the opposing side.
Well, Esed Gabo making this a track meet, really. He has 7 points right now. Trims the deficit to 5, 47 to 42.
Jimboy Pastoran's been giving him big competition in that department. That time, though, forced to execute in the half court, and Pastoran making the right decision, giving it up to Arwin Santos. I love that the veterans are flourishing here in the second half para sa parehong kupunan.
And it's been, yun nga, no, they just keep it simple. Hindi nila kino-complicate yung mga opensa, yung bagay-bagay sa opensa. Kaya mas madali at mas less effort, kumbaga, you know, for the veterans na for them, just put them on spots to be effective.
Because when you make it complicated, it puts a lot of stress mentally, and this leads to you making wrong decisions, you turning the ball over. And when it's simple, it becomes more effective. We've seen it, especially in high-pressure games. In situations like this, you don't have to keep it too complicated.
Meanwhile, let's check in with Gian Elianes.
Sidelf and Javi, even though this is a game with a lot of history, the Pangasinan Heatwaves coaches who were part of Basilan before said they can't deny their competitive nature. Kaya a game of pride rin daw ito para sa kanila. Sa halftime huddle daw, Coach Gerson made sure to contain his emotions and use their discussion as a chance to remind the Heatwaves of their game plan on defense, like their ball screens and closing out the opponent within the perimeter. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, G. Gianna just reminding us of the history of these two teams. Check out this play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet, and we're pointing at Jimboy Pastoran right now, who's been an X factor in this ball game, Javi.
He's been taking a lot of the load off of Alex Cabagnot, and he's been doing it beautifully. Look how he was able to attract 3 guys there. Obviously, there would be somebody open, and he was able to locate Eman Calo, who was treading the left side of the floor on that previous play.
Well, he's got 2 points and 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Ito si Jimboy Pastoran.
But the impact he's made here in the third quarter, Sedelf, goes beyond that. He's been helping Basilan maintain this cushion versus Pangasinan.
All the yung decision making niya, Javi.
He's been pushing all the right buttons while also playing good defense, I must say.
JP Magoliano, stretch layup plus the foul.
JP Magoliano 2.0 returning to the MPBL after a stint with the Meralco Bolts in the PBA.
Kicks are great move of the game, born for greatness. Ganda yung galaw na yun, ha? Parang may konting extension and continuation.
I tell you, it's very difficult to score on Arwin Santos, so that definitely is going to be a tremendous confidence booster para kay JP Magoliano, although he fails to complete the 3-point play there.
Lead is back to 6. Pastoran has had a solid game so far. Cabagnot against Pagsanhan, a whistle going against Harvey.
Having Jimboy Pastoran be that lead point guard right now on the floor for Basilan has allowed Alex to focus on scoring the rock para sa Basilan Star Horse.
Nakita mo dito kung paano naging mas maiksi ang rotation ni Coach Rich Alvarez for this big game.
Yeah, he usually shuffles a lot of his players.
It really feels like a playoff game, Abby. It's no ordinary regular season game.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. You could see it in both coaching staff's faces.
Kabagnot
That's a
traveled.
walk. Yep.
I thought nung medyo nausog niya na si Galanza, he could have taken the shot already.
Yeah, nag-alangan siya because Bongga Lanza also has that length that could have foiled the shot by Cabagnot. That's why Alex had to think twice about what he was going to do here. Inupo muna siya dito ni Coach Rich Alvarez.
Enzo Hoson is back on the floor. Isa Sato, the biggest fan of Enzo Hoson, is in the building making the trip to Rosales, Pangasinan. There's a whistle going against Enzo Hoson. Basilan already over the limit.
We still have 5 minutes left here in the third. This could be something that Pangasinan could take advantage of. I think Coach Gerson, this could be a time for him to bring in Vic Manuel back because of the penalty situation that Basilan is in. They could dump it down to him, either him or Mabulak.
51 to 45. Get a special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Tagangon is in for Jimboy Pastoran. Solid outing for Jimboy. It looks like it will be Enzo Hoson who will have the main ball handling duties for the Star Horse.
Still scoreless in this game. Ito si Enzo Hoson.
Sherwin Concepcion gets it to Eman Calo. Cruz up against Maguliano. Jervy, the turnaround shot. He was asking for a foul. Ball will stay with the white shirts.
Might have caught Jervy Cruz on the wrist there. Ito si JP Maguliano, but our referees letting them play through it.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Jervy will fire. No. Nagawan sa rebound. That's over the back for Sherwin Concepcion. So 2 free throws again.
Concepcion tried to jump for it, but before that, there was a push from behind, over the back, foul laban sa kanya.
Nanonood din sa atin ang pamilya ni Robbie Celis. Tingnan natin nangyari muna dito.
There you go.
Oo, yung
Obvious.
kalawang kamay niya. Nanonood sila habang nagsiselebrate ng birthday ni Daniel, ang kanyang bunso.
Happy birthday sa iyong bunso, Mr. Robbie Celis.
Fanboy. Fanboy daw si Daniel. Galing, ano din to ha? Nagbabasketball din ha?
Oo. Ay mana sa tatay.
Oo.
Kaya nga doble ang pagtrabaho ni Robbie ngayon kasi ayaw niya mapahiya sa mga anak niya eh.
Hindi nanonood. It's 51 to 48, 3-point game. Basilan momentarily had momentum here in the third, and then Pangasinan able to climb their way back. Good hustle from JP Maguliano. Lost it though.
Nice save from our statistician, Vince, on my side. Thank you. Alisto Grabe, ang bilis ng reflexes mo dun
Yeah, not so much with my partner here on the left. Dagangon, a 3. Calo, right place at the right time. 2 points.
Although the rebounding disparity, actually there is no rebounding disparity. We're tied at 31 apiece. Basilan has had more offensive rebounds, which has generated them more possessions. Kaya they have 7 more attempts in this game.
Melencio to Japs Bautista. Umintis ang kanyang tres. At parehong players ang nagsasabi na hindi nila last touch.
No, they call the jump ball and possession points to the side of Pangasinan. So now it's going to be a baseline throw-in.
Galanza. One-hander, trying to go glass that time, and Gab Tagangon secures the rebound, and bola ulit That's rebound number 6. Enzo Hosso knocks down the 3.
Miscommunication defensively there para sa Pangasinan, which I'm sure Coach Gerson and his staff are very disappointed about.
Another run here. Oh, libreng-libre si Enzo Hoson.
That's the guy with a basketball there, Sidel. You have to be able to get somebody in front of him, especially si Enzo Hoson pa.
3 minutes and 37 seconds left here in the third. We'll be right back. That's our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. We are here in Rosales, Pangasinan to cap the week of MPBL action. Nasa Montalban, Rizal tayo sa Lunes. And tuloy-tuloy lang ang action dito sa MPBL. Nasa kalagitnaan na tayo ng ating regular season and the race is heating up. And Ian Melencio gives the Heat Waves a much-needed basket.
They needed that, especially after that boo-boo defensively, not marking Enzo Hoson, but here they force a turnover.
Those are 6 quick ones. Bong Galanza with back-to-back hits for Pangasinan. Eman Calo will drive. Calo leaves it short. Galanza on the move. Gets it to Japs Bautista. Melencio. The trio of Tempra, Santos, and Cabagnot are checking in for Basilan in the next dead ball. Ian Melencio gets blocked. But Jervy Cruz runs out of space.
See here, Melencio. Calo went under the screen that was set by Napoles. And many people still forget that Ian Melencio, very capable scorer, still here in the MPBL. Bonga Lanza finding his stroke there from the left side. I think, Bonga hasn't really had that same type of confidence he usually has. It really takes him a while for him to put up shots. Kahit na minsan may espasyo na siya, hindi pa rin niya tinitira eh.
Yeah. They had some really strong performances against in Zamboanga last season.
But it's different this season for him.
Munting hatak doon galing kay Bonga Lanza. Only the 3rd team foul for the Heat Waves.
He was brought in here to this team to give them firepower from the outside. And obviously he hasn't been able to provide that yet para dito sa koponan ni Coach Gerson Cabiltes.
Cabagnot gets into the lane. Jumper won't go. Fight for the rebound. It will stay with the white shirts. Cabagnot on to Arwin against JP Maguliano. Nasa kaliwa si Alex Cabagnot. Ball knocked away. Alex has to take the shot. Arwin inside the paint. No. Another opportunity. Well defended by Napoles. Chance to tie for Pangasinan or even take the lead here. Maguliano against Tempra. The kick out to Japs. Alanganin ng pasa. Recovered by Japs Bautista. Back to Ian Melencio. 8 seconds to work with. Ian up against Arwin. Melencio for 3. That's an air ball.
Oh, but Bautista was asking for it on the left side. At Melencio was trying to see if he could go for another 3-pointer. He hit one earlier after the timeout. You could now feel that the game is getting even more heated between these two teams. Not much heat. When I mean heat, it means that these teams are really trying their best to defend its score.
Pastoran. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jimboy. Spin, layup. Got it. Wow. What a game so far para kay Jimboy Pastoran. He's got 4 points. And he's been a stabilizing force para dito sa Basilan. That's a 3 from Japs. 1-point game.
Yan sana ang gusto niya mangyari kanina pa. He was asking for it on the same spot when Ian Melenso airballed the 3.
58-57. That's a foul on Japs Bautista. Wala pa sa penalty ng Pangasinan.
Bautista has had a hard time covering Alex Cabagnot in this game.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Feel your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. It's a little hesitation move and then the spin dun sa gitna para iiwas kay Napoles.
And in these moments, these could be career-defining moments for guys like Jimboy Pastoran, because now the coaches realize that he can perform in these pressure-packed situations.
A big game at that. Jimboy got the step on Fontanilla. He draws the foul. 2 free throws coming up.
And you see the look on his face, the body language. Mukhang walang kakaba-kaba. He looks very calm and composed. And all his moves seem to be very calculated.
Jimboy Pastoran, former St. Benil Blazer, has bounced around the MPBL as well. Spent time with Bacoor, Abra. And now, Basilan this season. 1 for 2 for Jimboy Pastoran. 2-point lead para sa Basilan Star Horse. Pangasinan with the ball right now. Magoliano all the way to the cup. We're tied at 59.
It's a little change of pace there for JP Magoliano. He's had Arvin Santos' number here in the 3rd.
Pastoran against Magoliano. The step back 3 from Jimboy. Off the mark. Fontanilla, King Gortiza for the lead. The Heat Waves on top late in the 3rd period.
Previously scoreless, open look, why not? King Gortiza coming up with a big shot for the Heat Waves.
10 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. It was a quarter where Pangasinan trailed by as many as 8. Now they are on top by 3. Cabagnot, no good on the 3. Arwin, no. And the Heat Waves closing out the quarter on a high. And they will head into the 4th with the advantage against the Basilan Star Horse. The highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration. Fireworks here in the 3rd, Avi.
4 3-pointers for the Pangasinan Heat Waves in that 3rd quarter. And this one to give them the lead. King Gortiza giving the Heat Waves their first taste of the lead after a long time here. They enter the 4th quarter up by 3.
Our matchup update. Arwin with 8 points, 5 rebounds. Vic Manuel has 8 points and 1 rebound. We expect these 2 veterans to figure prominently here down the wire in Rosales, Pangasinan.
Both these players have been figuring in prominent roles in this game. Arwin has had 2 straight great games para sa Basilan Star Horse, while ito si Vic Manuel, he's trying to bounce back from what I felt was a mediocre game after that first quarter against San Juan. Actually, you could say even more than mediocre dahil hindi na talaga siya nakascore nun pagkatapos eh.
Tama. Pastoran, Hoson, Cabagnot, Concepcion, and Adi Santos para dito sa Basilan, para sa Pangasinan, Fontanilla, Maguliano, Bautista, Napoles, and Gortiza. Alex Cabagnot ties the game with a 3.
Second three-point shot of the game para kay Cabagnot. He's attempted a lot in this game, but the timeliness of those three-point shots have really been incredible para sa Basilan.
He's closing in on a triple-double, Alex Cabagnot. Already with 7 assists and 8 rebounds. Maguliano goes to work. No good this time. That's a foul on Pastoran.
And he readily acknowledges it. Fontanilla beating him to the spot there. Really good timing on that putback attempt.
They're checking if it should be upgraded into an unsportsmanlike foul. Referee Mike Kinay says it's not. Bagong
Kaya nga, bagong tina.
Bagong tina si Referee Mike
Looking 10 years younger. They're still going to review it. I think referee Michael Kina is trying to reconsider his decision here. They're going to take a good look at it once again. But Fontanilla is ready to take 2 free throws. They're just trying to make sure it is the right call. Yeah, hang out to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. People here at the venue, most of them are on their feet right now.
We are tied at 62. Not a lot of deadlocks and lead changes in this game, actually.
It's been a game of runs mostly.
No team has led by more than 8. I think 3 times. Ang third deadlock pala natin to.
Ooh. 2 missed free throws there para kay Josh Fontanilla.
Boson gets it across. They trap him. Binigay kay Concepcion. Now with Pastoran up against King Gortiza. Concepcion against Fontanilla. Pastoran, 2 seconds remaining. Santos blocked by Maguliano. What an effort kay JP Maguliano. Hulog ng langit siya dito sa Pangasinan.
Mismo. Last game wasn't really a factor against the Knights. But here, he has really showed out. Scoring against Arwin Santos, playing good defense, but what about King Gortiza here? Coming up with a 3-point shot earlier to close out the third, and here with a strong drive to the basket. Tinalikuran siya dito ni Sherwin Concepcion, which gave him the leeway to get a lane. Going for that inside hand scoop on the left side. Ito si King Gortiza.
Well, the young guns are showing out para dito sa Pangasinan here. Particularly in the final half, he could not complete the 3-point play. Napoles, masyado malakas ang kanyang dribble. Naagaw ni Eman Calo. It's off to Pastoran. Inside, what a pass para kay Adi Santos, and we are tied once again.
He's just so good at seeing those spots kung saan di talaga siya mapapansin.
Yeah.
You gotta give a lot of credit as well to these Basilan guards, because time and time again this season, they've been able to locate him in those particular spots.
Nabitawan ni JP Maguliano. That's turnover number 15 for Pangasinan. They call a foul on Fontanilla.
Totally unnecessary foul there para kay Josh Fontanilla.
Assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
There was one guy who was slow to get down there for Pangasinan. That's why nalibre dun si Adi Santos. And you know how good Adi Santos is at beating his defender to the other side of the floor.
Adi. Let's hit to Tempra. Nice feed from Eman Calo. 66 to 64. Galanza got the step, count the basket, plus the foul.
And I think it's very important that Bonga Lanza becomes more aggressive here para sa Pangasinan. Not just in this game, but in this stretch of their season.
Galanza right here, masyadong nakadikit si Alex Cabagnot. And he leans in for that basket.
That's a basic read right there. When your defender is all over you, the best way to counter that is to beat him off the dribble.
Let's check in with Gianna.
Sa Delphin Javi, pinaalala lang ni Coach Rich sa kanyang players last huddle na isa lang ang nag-iba sa ginagawa ng Pangasinan ngayon kumpara sa first half. In his words, all they're doing is pressuring us more. Kaya pinaalala niya sa Star Horse to take their time to look for the good shots. Wala daw siyang nakikitang pinipili ang backdoor option sa opensa, kaya wag daw sila madistract sa atmosphere o sa momentum ng Pangasinan. And remember their goal to win. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, G. Ayan natin yung sitwasyon dito. This game has been touch and go. No? Masyadong precarious kahit sino pa yung may lamang. So small details being reminded by Coach Rich.
And you're right, it's the small details that really matter here in games like this. You have to pay attention to the way that you defend, the spots on the floor kung saan walang depensa. You have to take a look at those little details because in the end, the team that really covers all these bases could end up on top. Hesed Cabol giving Pangasinan back the lead there.
It's a 3-point lead for Pangasinan. 7 minutes remaining in this ball game. Calo.
That's a travel.
Travel. And guess who are the guys who are delivering here? King Gortiza, the youngster. And earlier, JP Maguliano.
Both former EAC generals, Sedel.
Oo. Both spending a lot of time with Coach Gerson.
Talaga naniniwala sa dito sa dalawang bata na to that even if the King Gortiza hasn't really been putting up some significant numbers, he's here in this game. This is a very big game para sa kanila. That just is a testament to the trust that he's giving King at this moment.
Enzo. Cabagnot drives right. Tough shot. Won't go. Rebound. Gabo. Hesed gets it to King. Santos staying in front of Gortiza. The cross-court pass. Galanza, a missed three. Rebound. Enzo Hoson. Over 6 minutes to play. It's a 3-point lead for Pangasinan. Bola ng Basilan. Tempra. Santos. Right at the elbow. Now it's with Cabagnot. Gortiza nakabantay. Napoles is there on the switch. 5 seconds. Alex. To Gab. A 3. Yes! These two teams trading big blows here in the fourth and final quarter.
Ibang klase. Alex Cabagnot. Now he has quicker defenders on him. He's not able to get to the basket just like he was able to in the first half. But that's enabled him now to locate different guys on the floor. And on that last occasion, it was Gab Dagangon. Take a look at it here. Galanza was not really committing to the help. And when he was trying to close out on Dagangon, he was already launching the shot.
Masyado malayo si Bonga Lanza doon kay Gab Dagangon. Hesed is at the line and Gianna has an update again.
Yes, actually, this is a very emotional game nga for his head, Gaboy. He said that he's feeling a lot of things facing Basilan today. He specifies Game 1 of the South Division Finals of the third MPBL season as still one of his best memories in the league. In his words, I will not be where I am right now if Basilan didn't take a chance on me back then. Back to you guys.
As said Gabo, one of the top point guards in the league, and his ascent to the top at one point was sparked by that move to Basilan in Season 3, Javi.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree, and I'm very happy for him that he's been able to cement his spot as one of the top point guards here in the league. You know, after that run with QC, which wasn't very bad. In fact, he had a good run with Quezon City, but that move to Basilan was definitely the one that put him on top of the ladder.
That was a turning point in his career, and thanks to Gianna for just sharing that bit of information and talking to Hesed. Nice drop pass. Adi Mintis. Loose ball, ends up with Enzo. Naagaw ni Bonga Lanza. Japs. One man to beat. Gabo for 2. 12 points for Hesed Gabo. Pangasinan getting a lot of heroes here in the final quarter. Bonga Lanza with his defense, Japs Bautista with his shot making, and Hesed Gabo with a crucial basket. Fast break of the game is brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners and Extreme Magpalamig. Free installation for split type air conditioners. 74-69. Timeout. Basilan. We'll be right back. Crowd inside the Robert B. Estrella Senior Memorial Stadium enjoying the action. Fan of the game brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Kami din nag-i-enjoy kasama nyo.
Oh yeah,
So
this has
Tupas,
definitely been an
kasama si
entertaining
Javi Malanya, and of course Gianna Lianes, and the rest of our crew. Back-to-back North games.
What a way to cap off the weekend.
Bataan kagabi, and now dito sa Rosales, Pangasinan. Foul away from the ball on Jory Napoles.
What we've been seeing these past few minutes from Pangasinan Sedel is Jersot Cabilte's brand of defense.
Oo. And I like the way they've been responding itong mga players ng Pangasinan to Coach Gerson. And then obviously, you see the passion and the urgency right now from the Heat Waves, trying to give their coach a memorable win tonight. Cruz gets it to Jimboy. 3-second violation.
And apart from the history that's a part of this game para sa kupunan ng Pangasinan, particularly Coach Gerson, well, the Heat Waves as a franchise, this also is an important game for them because they've only won once at home this season. They're 1-2 at home, only being able to defeat Bataan dun sa kanilang unang home game, but they've lost their next 2.
Yes, said. Misses the layup. Alex. Jimboy. Jervy. Pass is loose. Galanza. A 3. No. Bautista offensive rebound. Gets it to Bonga Lanza. Another crack at it. Still no good. And that's last touch on Mabula.
Still not the shooter that we're used to seeing him be. He's only averaging 29.4% from the outside this season after what was a tremendous comeback last season with Zamboanga.
Jervy Cruz. Arwin Santos. Now with Alex Cabagnot. A foul on Japs Bautista. Only the third team foul for Pangasinan. Alam mo, ramdam ko yung nervyos dito sa loob ng arena.
Kinikilabutan ako
Ako
ngayon.
eh.
Tumataas mga balahibo ko eh.
Ako rin eh. The beauty of the home and away in the MPBL. Kabagi, a three. Short. Calo from the corner this time. No good. Nagawan sa rebound. Japs Bautista secures the board. Galanza is fouled by Cabagnot and Bong Galanza will troop to the line.
That's a terrible foul from Alex Cabagnot, and he should know better. The veteran that he is, already over the limit.
He'll get that one back for sure. I think it's more of him, Javi, trying to stop the play because he's hurt. He's limping going back to the bench.
Well, he's definitely left it all out on the floor in this game, Sidef. You saw the way that he was blowing by defenders in the first half.
Free throw of the game is brought to you by Extreme Appliances sa subok at kompletong appliances brand ng Pilipinas. Lawrence Paul Victoria getting himself acquainted with the Pangasinan crowd. Ganda ng pwesto niya doon with Ian Melencio. Arwin gets the rebound. It's on to Eman Calo. Calo out of control. A foul whistled on Japs Bautista. Wala nang challenge ang Pangasinan.
Coach Jerson actually wanted a travel.
Apat na si Japs Bautista. Changes in the lineup. Jervy Cruz and Arwin Santos will sit. Adi Santos and Sherwin Concepcion are back on the floor.
I see here, Sidel, Pangasinan has stuck with this unit. Japs Bautista has played extended minutes in this game because of the defense that he's been playing. He hasn't been getting a lot of touches on the basketball, but the way he's been able to help apply pressure in the backcourt has been valuable to Pangasinan here in the fourth quarter. Si Michael Mabulak na nag-map dito.
What's going on?
I think there was a slick spot there near the baseline.
Calo to inbound. He gets it back. The tap ends up with Japs Bautista. Another stop para sa Pangasinan. Japs puts on the brakes. Binigay kay Hesed Gabo. So one of the more reliable players in closing out games, Hesed Gabo. He has the rock right now. Para sa Pangasinan. Hesed
That's a travel. Yep. He moved his pivot foot there just when you were saying it. Just when you were saying how reliable he is in moments like this. He turns the ball over.
Sabi ko na nga,
It happens.
ayoko na.
It happens.
6-point lead. Grabe, identical. 70 turnovers and 18 points of turnovers for both teams.
And actually, hindi naman talaga nagkakalayo sa mga stat departments. Ito parehong kupunan. That's how tight this game has been.
Oh, a lot of contact there. Oh, foul. A lot of contact on Pastoran. Tignan natin yung nangyari dito. Was this a foul, Javi?
Yeah.
I think so.
It was a foul. It was supposed to be a foul on Napoles.
And then, it could be a double whammy because this might be an unsportsmanlike foul.
See, look
there.
at that. Look, there was the grab on the left hand, and then the hit with the right side.
I can't believe they missed that. That's a big call. That's a big non-call.
And it's not like it happened in a spot kung saan tagong-tago yung parehong player doon. That was a spot where there were referees really looking at the play, and they let them play through it. Dahil may hawak na nga sa kaliwa, tinamaan pa sa kanan. But I'm not sure if they're gonna allow the unsportsmanlike foul on the other side. Because all Kala was trying to do was really to stop the play, although you could argue it might be what we used to call an advantage foul.
That would be really harsh now.
Especially at this point of the game. You know how calls like that can really, change the complexion of the game, especially na naghahabol ngayon itong Basilan, because if Pangasinan is given that call, it will be 2 free throws plus ball possession, so they could extend this lead possibly to 10 points.
No. What's gonna happen here?
Upon review, unsportsmanlike
Yeah,
foul
it is
on number
an
19,
unsportsmanlike
Eman
foul.
Calo, his third.
That's a big call.
75 to 69. Check out what happened here. This should have been a foul.
Yeah, that's why Pastoran fell down there. Dahil,
And he was level. I thought that was very, very close. Kasi level, parang kalinya niya si Bongga Lanza doon. Tsaka si si Napoles. Let's go to Gianna.
Sa Delphin Javi, ibinahagi ni Jory Napoles na ang kanyang asawa ay currently naka-confine sa ospital ngayon at kahit napakahirap para sa kanya na hindi sila magkasama, professionalism is super important to him. So he shares that he is using his wife as his inspiration right now, making a win even sweeter when he gets back home to her later. Back to you guys.
We wish Jory Napoles' wife well. And hubby's doing work right now.
oh yeah. I just made 2 crucial free throws there. I admire players like that. That also happened to Eric Thompson.
Gabo looking for a way through. 7 seconds remaining. Umatras si Hesed. Atake. Nabitawan ng bola. Calo has it. Couple of turnovers for Hesed Gabo here. Calo, the kick out. Sherwin for 3. No good. Santos could not get the rebound. Here comes Hesed pushing. Galanza up top. And Bongga Lanza puts it in to make it a 10-point game for Pangasinan.
And that just might have erased those 2 turnovers that Gabo committed. Those were 2 crucial errors that he made. But making up for it with an excellent find in transition. See here, this was the miss by Sherwin Concepcion. Bounced off the back iron. Adi Santos could not get to the offensive rebound. Gabo collects it. It sees Galanza running the floor on the right side. Tough finish over the outstretched arms of the defense.
Gabo, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Maguliano now with Bongga Lanza. Back to Hesed from downtown. Got it! Biggest shot of the season for Hesed Gabo. 13-point game.
And he stakes his claim, Sedelf, as one of the best clutch players here in the MPBL. 2 turnovers earlier, but following it up with 2 big plays. A pass and a big bucket with the shot clock winding down.
Basilan can't seem to recover from that onslaught of Pangasinan. A turnover from Enzo Hoso. This was I have to remind you, this was a 56-48 game at the 3:41 mark of the third, Javi, and it was Basilan in the lead.
And mind you, Sedelf, the unit that was on the floor was comprised of JP Maguliano and King Gortiza. Those 2 guys were actually the ones leading the 5 on the floor that really helped get the lead back to the side of the Heat Waves before the veterans took over here in the 4th quarter. Lifting violation there.
It's a 21-point turnaround. They have outscored, Pangasinan has outscored Basilan 34-13 over the course of the last 12 minutes of this ball game.
You're right. That's crazy. That just is definitely a testament to how hard Pangasinan has buckled down defensively and shackled this Basilan offense that in the first half we thought was so seamless na hindi natin akalain na mamalasin.
They've been scoreless since the 6:09 mark of the fourth quarter. Talking about Basilan. Gabo will try to close this one out. Mabulak is fouled by Tempra. 2 free throws. And even more time to savor this win para dito kay Coach Jerson Cabiltes and the rest of the Heat Waves.
You can imagine the emotions going through para dito sa kupunan ni Coach Jerson, especially him and the former Basilan players, Cesar Gabo and Jake Oliado. Gabo, for him to be one of the guys putting on the telling blows.
Special deal for 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. 83-69. Tempra finally gets that one to drop para dito sa Basilan. Maguliano has been instrumental in that run in the third.
Wow,
With his energy.
he really has improved his ball handling. I didn't know he could bring down the basketball like this.
Kaya nga, what a way to return home and claim victory. The Pangasinan Heat Waves prevailing over the Basilan Star Horse in this extraordinary regular season game. A matchup that had a lot of history and a lot of personalities switching over to different sides. But then the action was on the court, and it was a strong second half performance from Pangasinan that propelled them to this victory, Javi.
It was a crazy game. You know, it was a game of runs, Sedelf, but at the end, the team that was able to buckle down to work defensively, they finally showed us what Coach Jerson was expecting of them on that side of the floor, and that translated to this kind of offense, which was led and orchestrated by one of the best point guards in the MPBL, Hesed Gabo.
Hesed Gabo finished with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. He did have 5 turnovers, but he gets the job done with the big shots down the stretch. 83-71. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Argiana Llanes is with Hesed.
Congratulations to Hesed Gabo of the Pangasinan Heat Waves, our best player of the game. Hesed, pati kami na nanonood ng laro, we were so nervous in the last few minutes of the game. Pero sabi ng team mo that Coach Jerson really tried his best to stay composed. Why was this a big help for you guys?
Sinare lang, kagabi nag-usap-usap kami sa team na gusto namin itong second half ng season. We want to offer this to our families. Siyempre, sa mga coaches namin na very hardworking, lalo sa mga scouting, ganyan, sila Coach Jerson. Gusto lang namin ibalik sa kanila yung tiwala na binibigay nila sa amin.
And Hesed, we know that this is also a very emotional game for you because it has a lot of history. Hindi lang yun, you've been through quite a journey your last few games, pero sabi mo, you trust that hard work will always prevail. So ano yung nasa isip mo ngayon?
I'm just happy we got the win. And siyempre, itong patapos na yung regular season, gusto lang namin mas mabuo yung team chemistry namin. And para mas maging ready kami going to the playoffs.
And I know na mahalaga para sa inyo that you got this win for your home court and your home crowd. Ano yung mensahe mo para sa kanila?
Siyempre nagpapasalamat kami sa mga taong palagi nagpupunta dito para sumuporta sa amin. Sa mga taong naniniwala, nagtitiwala, sumusuporta sa amin, nagdadasal para sa amin. Maraming salamat po.
Sino pa ang gusto mong pasalamatan?
Papasalamat kami kay Lord for giving us the win. Papasalamat kami sa lahat ng pamilya namin na sumusuporta sa amin, sa anak ko, si Stella, sa mga magulang ko, sa mga taga-Palawan, sa mga taga-Negros Occidental. Nagpapasalamat ako. At syempre, nagpapasalamat ako kay Mayor Liam Cesar Governor Monmon Guico, Secretary Conrad Estrella, Congressman Eskimo Estrella of Obono, Congressman Art Celeste, Mayor Cesar Cambiao, Boss Robert Kai, Mayor Brian Celeste, Boss FJ Daylim, at sa mga solid supporters ng Team Pangasinan. Maraming salamat kay Boss Junred. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Thank you very much and congratulations to our best player of the game, Hised Gabo of the Pangasinan Heatwaves. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you, Sidelf and Javi.
Maraming salamat, Gianna. Congratulations kay Hised Gabo. Boy, a look of relief mixed with a bit of joy para dito kay Hised and the rest of the Heatwaves overcoming the Basilan Star Horse here at home. Balik tayo sa bandang south, pabalik sa Lunes. No? Punta tayo sa Inares Center in Montalban. Rizal, Mindoro against Quezon City in the first game. Caloocan against Pasig City in the second game. And in the main game, it's the battle between South Division contenders Zamboanga and Rizal. So ganda na naman ang ating schedule sa Lunes. So, para sa aking partner, Javi Palania, our courtside reporter, Gianna Llanes, and for all the men and women making up our hardworking and brilliant team dito sa MPBL. Ito po si Dev Tupa saying good night from Rosales, Pangasinan.